Hey, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to another episode of Fridays Are for Friends. I'm here with an incredible artist, Lilly Yan. Tell us a little bit about the song you performed titled Un Ratito Más.
Un Gratito Más is a very 80s, 90s-esque influence song. Um, my producer and I, Ivan, we actually worked on it last year and finalized it last year in December. I was listening to a lot of New Edition, and I that was my influence, listening to that whole album. And there was this particular song that I heard, and I was like, "Oh, this is super dope. I want to kind of like mess around with this R&B, um, 80s vibe." And it's the song is basically about you're feeling this person, there's somebody that you're into, and you finally, take that step and you ask them, "Hey, I'd love for you to come like hang out with me," or what have you. And you want them to hang out with you and stay with you a little bit longer, un ratito más. And that's kind of where that song came from.
For sure. So, how does your cultural background shape the sound that you make today?
Yeah, so I do definitely want to give thanks to like my dad. Like he listened to a bunch of like Black American artists, super soulful um, artists that I still like love to this day. A bunch of like Aretha Franklin and like Otis Redding and just a bunch of like Black American artists. Um, and I think that my music, what I currently like release into the world, it definitely has like a little bit of a soulful touch to it. Um, as far as like Spanish music goes, I did grow up listening to it, but later on in life was when I started to actually kind of like dive in a little bit more into that, like Julieta Venegas and Julio Julio Iglesias, and there's just a bunch of like different artists. So I would say like my dad was a big part of the soulful aspect of or the element that I like include in my music. So I would say that that's kind of what has shaped me, in a sense. And I, as an artist, like I continue to like evolve like with my sound and like try to polish it up. But um, my influence is definitely in that soulful vibe.
Yeah, I feel that. And what's like the biggest challenge you faced as a upcoming artist and an artist that is really trying to make an impact in this world?
I think that it's definitely more of like the biggest challenge is for independent artists in general. I think it's always the money issue. Like it's super difficult because there's so much. I feel like your audience, or when they're listening to your music, that 3 minutes or whatever, how long it is. Um, there's a lot that goes into it that the audience doesn't know of. Like the production that you have to pay for, the marketing, the mixing engineer, the mastering engineer, cover art, music videos if you have that, visual content. There's just like so much that you have to do, and I feel like we're in this era where like it's just like the microwave era. That's like what a lot of people call it. So like they just have to figure out. It's very complicated when it comes to like you know um, trying to figure out how you're gonna like make ends meet for like this specific song, or if you're working on an album, on an EP. It's always a money issue, or at least it has been for me. So I think that's one of my biggest challenges that I face, just trying to have that um, enough income to actually push the music, which is super 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 key. It's very very important. That, and currently working on trying to find a team that could help out, like uh, with the social media and like with content. So um, yeah, there's a bunch of things, but I would say like the main one would be like just like the money issue. That
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
I feel that as an independent artist myself, that is definitely something you're balancing because you have to figure out what you're putting into marketing, what you're putting into the
Yeah.
engineering, what you're putting into the production, and it becomes a lot, but it's like almost it's that climb to where you want to be, and I think that's the part that's enjoyable about it is that it is so hard, that it is this is something that not many people are quote unquote successful in,
Mhm.
and to be able to still put yourself out there and still chase that dream, and not only chase it but accomplish it with all the things you've been doing, like your performances and festivals, releasing the great music, gaining, a fan base is success, and your success is going to continue at the
Yeah.
end of the day. And I think it's about taking in those little wins and don't like not forgetting about them, because it's so
Absolutely. Yeah.
so easy to,
Yeah, you're so right about that. And that's something that I have to remember too, is like the little wins, you
Mhm.
know. Um, I just something that I have to remember as an artist as well is that I think it's super important to um like we were talking about earlier, before we started like filming, just like the whole comparison thing, not worrying about the numbers and how many likes you get like on a video, or if you get any comments, if any, but just continuing to just like work hard, and like for me, like this is a passion, like I thoroughly enjoy, releasing music and like the process of like writing and going into the studio with like a blank slate and literally just like creating something like so beautiful, um, that just sits well with you, So it's fun for me, and I love it, and I want to continue to do it, So, and I am going to continue to do it. I mean, it gets difficult sometimes, obviously, but just got to keep on, I feel like, pushing through, and just
For sure.
take it from there.
Yeah, and speaking about one of your little wins, you released a song, Te Averti. Can
Yeah.
you speak a little bit about that, like maybe the inspiration behind that song?
Yeah. So Te Advertí, it came out last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was, yeah, last Thursday. And I actually grew up playing the acoustic guitar, which was my first instrument. So who I wanted with this particular song, where I was talking to my producer Ivan, I was like, yo, I want to like make an acoustic, like driven song, let's work on an acoustic bop. And it's very like angsty in a sense. So Te Advertí, it translates to I warned you. And it basically talks about like our imperfections, or my imperfections as a human, and me literally warning this person, like I, this is me, but at the end of the day, said person still wants to be with you after you warn them about, this is a disclaimer, like you giving them the disclaimer. So I kind of wanted to mess around with that, and this is actually like the longest chorus I've ever written to. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. Let's try like a really long
Yeah.
um, chorus. So yeah, it's a really synth pop acoustic song, and it was really fun to make. Like the whole process was a great time.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about that.
That's awesome. And what goals do you have as far as your music direction for the next year?
So my goals definitely. I would love to release. Well, I'm currently working on releasing my debut EP, which will be coming out next year. I'm hoping before the end of the first quarter. Um, I definitely want to get more shows under my belt as well, and just work with a bunch of different artists. Like I love like just being able to collab and pull different ideas from different people, and just create something really cool, that you can release into the world and have people just like like vibe to it. So that's kind of like one of the goals that I have, like the EP and more shows and collaborating with a bunch more artists.
Yeah. And speaking about that, then what kind of message do you want your listeners to take away from the music that you create and put out?
Yeah, so I guess message wise, I feel like my music in general, it's more of, I guess, like on the lovey side in a sense. I do, like I said, have that um like soulful, like R&B influence, here and there. um I do love to experiment, though, don't get me wrong. Like I think it's cool to like experiment and try different things and see if it works, and if it doesn't, okay, whatever, on to the next one. But as far as like vibes, I just want people to, I'm very like with my music, it's very synthy too. I have like that foundational like synths, um like throughout like the songs in general. So I just want people to like be able to, just to like vibe with the sound and just let it like take you into like some whole other like orbit for like 3 minutes or something, and just like I don't know, I'm just very I'm a mid tempo chill, chill artist. So I don't know. I guess it's just like I just want people to just be able to like escape for like a couple of minutes and just like let the lyrics. I mean, I hope the lyrics like resonate with the person, and just like an outlet, like a musical escape is kind of like what I want people to like take from
Yeah.
the stuff that I put into the world.
Yeah, and we would love for people to escape to your music too. So, with that said, if you want to let people know where they can find you, and your name, you obviously are going to pronounce it a lot better than I did. Let them know
Yeah.
where they can find you on social media as well as on streaming services. And if you want to, yeah, look in that camera and let them know.
Yeah, so once again, my name is Lilly Yan. You can find me on all platforms under Lilly Yan, which is LILLYYAN. And I'm basically everywhere. Google me, YouTube me, you'll find me there.
Google
And
me. I love it.
the socials are under _Lilly_Yan. So yeah.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you so much again for
Yeah.
taking this time to talk with us. Really means a lot, and I'm excited for people to escape to your music.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Well, thank you guys so much for listening here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Fridays Are for Friends. Peace.
Hey guys, I'm Lilly Yan, and thanks for tuning in to Fridays Are for Friends.